Scientific study of Vedas, creation of universe, starting from Brahman, class 79. This is the last class of this series. We have started from Brahman, and we are going through all the processes that is taken place in the creation of this universe. Already we have seen five avatars. They are fish, tortoise, boar, half man and half lion, that is Narasimha Avatar, and then Vamana Avatar. Through this, the complete creation of this universe, except living beings, are explained. Through these five avatars, that is through these five stages, the creation of this non-living universe take place. We can summarize this in this way. The starting point of creation is Brahma, without any quality. That was the initial thing that was there at the time of creation. So every space was empty, only Brahman was there, but to that the Brahman does not possess any qualities. So it is not visible also, without any quality. From this started creation. So first Brahman want to create a universe. So a plan was produced. That plan is Paramatma. The Paramatma is the plan for the creation of this universe. It contains non-living, this universe, and thereafter creation on earth is taking place with the help of human beings. So, and finally, the world reaches at a stage with people with all the knowledges and technically in the maximum limit, and all the human beings in this universe are living as a family, as the members of a family. That family is called Vasudeva family. There is no partiality or anything like that. A member of a family. So there is only universal government. Everyone will be like the members of a family. So no cheating or anything like that. Such a beautiful word. That was the objective of creation. So for that a plan was produced. That plan is Paramatma. Then there came a force, driving force, in the form of a wave. That driving force divided is acting in three ways. That three ways are, there are three types of operations that is taking place in the creation. That is creation, maintenance, and destruction. So that driving force is acting in three ways. That is creative force. It is responsible for creation of all the things. and all the created things are maintained for a definite period. That is the responsibility of the second force. That creative force we take part in the creation is now named as Brahma in Purana stories. And who is taking the responsibility for maintaining that created thing is now called Vishnu as per Purana stories. After that period, then it is to be destroyed, destructed. That force is called Shiva, Maheshwara. So there are three types of forces. So a force came out, a driving force came out from Brahman and divided into three. One is responsible for creation, the other for maintenance, the other for destruction. So Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. So Brahma is the responsible for creation. So there is only wave, a driving force in the form of a wave. And this creation is to be done based on that plan. So this wave combines to form two waves when combines to form particle. That joining point is called particle. Different waves join together to form a particle at the joining point. Wave, another wave at the joining point. There are two join points that is called anchors. And combining such a number of waves, big particles are formed like electron, proton, etc. So fundamental particles are already formed. So these are based on science. So Brahma, for taking part in the creation activity, he should require this science. So he should get science. Based on science, he is going to create. Modern science itself, full science behind this universe. That is Veda. So Vishnu is responsible for helping this creative force Brahma. So Vishnu go in the ocean. So at that time it was like an ocean. Only wave is there. In the ocean also there is only wave. Throughout it is uniform. At the time of creation there is nothing in the universe. Space, empty space with the wave. So it is compared with an ocean. And science is there, whether universe is there or not. Science is there. For example, 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Whether universe is here or not, 3 plus 2 will be 5. Likewise, science also. Hydrogen plus oxygen gives water. That science is there, whether universe is there or not. But the science is there somewhere else. Don't know where it is. So it is the duty of Vishnu to take that science and give it to Brahma. What it says is everything is created based on science, modern science itself. So Vishnu take the form of a fish because it is in the form of an ocean. From this science is taken. So in the story form there should be one character. So since it is ocean, that character is like the fish incarnation. That is the first incarnation of Vishnu. So based on this side, Brahma will try to create. So particles are formed. Then through Omkara, these particles are compressed to form nucleus of the atom. So in the universe, there are a number of nucleuses and the other fundamental particle electron proton. The remaining fundamental particles and waves are flowing in the universe. So the next step is to turn the electrons around this nucleus. So some force is to be applied. All the particles are wandering. So to produce the atom, this nucleus is to be fixed without moving, and then the electrons are to be revolved around it. So a one driving force is required, helping force is required. So Vishnu take the form of a tortoise second incarnation. It kept the nucleus idle stationary and churned the ocean. Churning means all the electrons are to be forced to revolve around the nucleus. Thus, different types of atoms are formed throughout this universe. So, that is the second avatar of Vishnu. Why it is tortoise? Because the atom thus formed is in the form of a tortoise. The structure of atom is similar to that of a tortoise. So, in this story, Vishnu is take the form of tortoise incarnation. That is the second stage. Thus, atoms are formed. So, atom cannot remain as such because it requires 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. If there is less electron, it should try to combine to make it 8. So, atoms combine together to form molecules and all the substances that is there in the universe. All the substances, non-living substances, are formed. So that will take place automatically. Vishnu is not required to involve in it. Atom cannot remain absent. So they will combine to form molecule join together to form substances, different types of substances like a mud, stone, etc. Everything. We know all substances attract each other. So they have a tendency to join together and form in the form of a ball. That ball-like structure is called planets. So a number of these particles join together, the molecule atoms combine to form different types of substances. These substances, that is mud, stone, etc., join together to form several balls, ball-like structures, that is planets. All these are taking place based on the Paramatma plan. How many planets are required? How many atoms are required? How many numbers of electron protons are required? Everything is there in the plan. Based on that plan also is acting as a force, and it is acting through Vishnu, Brahma, etc. So only required number of electron, proton, atoms, different types of atoms and different sizes of planets are formed. And that planet then that planets are wandering in the universe, throughout the universe. Then the next step is these wandering planets are to be arranged in such a way so that sun or star is to be kept at the center, and these required planets are to be turned around each sun or each star. So a force is required. That force is Vishnu. So Vishnu came in the form of a boar incarnation. because boar has a trunk like this, and the trunk is raised the earth. The earth is wandering, raised the earth in the trunk, and then the trunk is acting as the axis of a earth and kept it in the orbit of the sun. So atoms are placed, these planets are placed, all the planets are placed around the sun. There are 7 planets, 9 planets, like that. So a number of solar systems, that is called a solar system. Sun and planets are revolving around it. Different types of solar systems are there that we can see in the higher atmosphere. Star, different types of stars are there. Each star is a solar system. So required number of solar systems are formed. But the atom is, but the earth is not revolving. So the third incarnation is boar incarnation. Then the earth is to be forced to move around the sun. At that time, at the time of starting, there is a force outwards. If we are on a bus and when the bus starts, we may fall, because if the bus takes quickly with high speed, we will definitely fall. And similarly, the earth is moving with a going to move with a very high speed. Then there is a tendency for all the materials on the earth to throw away. So earth will lose its globe characteristic and it will become dust-like structure due to high movement, because these are not fixed by welding or anything like that. There are mud is there, stone is there. If the earth is going to move very fast, they may be thrown apart and earth will lose its that shape. So it is the duty of the Vishnu to protect it. That we cannot imagine how Vishnu or this universe, the force in the universe, maintain the structure of that earth while it is going to revolve around the sun. So Vishnu took this form of Narasimha Avatar, fourth incarnation, half man and half lion. Half man means very intellectual, half lion means very courageous. Such a Vishnu can, force can involve in this activity so as to prevent the destruction of earth at the time of starting of the earth when revolved around the sun. So that is the fourth incarnation. Now earth is going to revolve around the sun, but there still is another form. If it is going to revolve around the sun in a circular path, no further creation is possible, because the distance from sun to earth is the stationary, always the same. So no seasons are formed. So all the things produced may be alike. If human beings are produced, it will be alike because there is no difference. Earth and the moon in the same. But the difference occurs if the earth revolves in a elliptical orbit. Then seasons are formed, rain is forming, then only living beings can be created on this, can be sustained on this earth. So Vishnu came there and put his foot on the structure so as to make the orbit elliptical. That is the structure of the foot. So that is the fifth incarnation. So all the planets are moving around the sun in its own circle, elliptical orbit, and a number of planets are there, number of suns are there or stars are there, and this complete universe was created. And it is explained to five stories, and the five characters are five incarnations of Vishnu: fish, tortoise, boar, half man and half lion, Narasimha, and Vamana. Everything we have seen so far through the earlier classes. Now, there are another five incarnations. Thereafter, thus the universe was created. Thereafter, the progress on the earth is taking place by using human beings. All the developments on the earth are taking place through human beings. So, human beings are produced on the earth, and through them, the further progress is taking place. That is explained in four stories, three stories: Parashurama, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna. That is, there are four yugas: Kridayuga, Tredayuga, Dwaparayuga, Kali Yuga. Four yugas, and for each yuga, there are four avatars, incarnations. So, the progress of earth, man on the earth, the progress of development of earth is taking place in four stages. That is tribal period, colonialism, capitalism and socialism, and finally that beautiful world all the peoples are living like the members of a family. There is only universal God. That is the final stage. People will with all live all, with all the prosperity and with all the knowledge and everything like that. All are alike. That is the beautiful world. That is the objective of creation of Brahman. The objective of Brahman to create a beautiful world. That is the last stage. So they through human beings. So first it is tribal period. Man was created, all human beings was created, and through this development is going to take place. But at the initial stage, there were tribal people. There were their head may be tribal head, and when time passes, they will conquer other tribes and stole their properties. That is what is happening in the tribal period. There is prosperity is not there. Knowledge also is very less. So one tribal will try to steal the property of another tribal people, and they will take them as the slaves and so on. That is what is happening in the tribal period. But at that time, progress is gradually taking place. Science also is gradually improving. So that is the first period, Krita Yuga, tribal period. But at that time, that system cannot control the universe in the furthest progressing period. So an avatar came because at that time the king will become cruel. They will think about themselves without protecting the people. They will cheat others. They will become a headache to the people. Then that system is removed, and that is represented by that time is represented by it is that it is acting through the time. So that force which acting through that time, which changes this tribal period to colonialism, that is Treta Yuga, is known as Parashurama. Parashurama incarnation. So he destroyed that tribal quality and leads to the colonialism. That means foreigners will came here. Here, not only here, from here to other places also. So the science developed in one place will become the property of others also. Progress take place. Universe also become is under a few kings. That is colonialism. That story is Ramavada. That a Ravana is a foreigner. In the story, it is mentioned as Sri Lanka. Lanka. So, through this, development take place. Gradually, development is taking place. Science flow throughout the world due to this colonialism. But resulted in, at the end of that colonialism, people may become to suffer. The foreigners are going to a problem to us. It is not necessary to explain what all things they have done. So that yuga is not sort of there at that at the maximum time. Another time start came. A force came through the time. That force is called Rama Avatar. Rama, Sri Rama, incarnation of Sri Rama. That means that time at that time this colonialism was removed and the system moved to some portion of earth kept under communism and the other capitalism. That is present stage. Kritayuga, Tretayuga, then Dwaparayuga. So at that period also there is cheating. That is Chudugali. So at the end, that system will be always at the time comes, but progress will take place. Whether it is in communism or in capitalism, progress of the earth will take place. But inequality is there at that time. So when it become maximum, the next avatar at the proper time, the next avatar, that is Krishna avatar, will came and destroy the system and move to the next stage, Kritayuga, Tretayuga, Dwaparayuga, Kali Yuga, the last stage of this creation. So in the Kali Yuga end, people will become under a universal government. All the people will be like the members of a single universal family. All will be alike, like a member of a single family. There is only one universal world government. The knowledge, the people will acquire all the knowledges that is there in the Vedas. So that is the final stage of creation. So there are 9 avatars: boar, uh, fish, tortoise, boar, Narasimha, Vamana. Through this universe was created, and through Parashurama, Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, and then goes to the there in between there is one avatar, that is Balarama also. That is in between there is one Balarama avatar also. Thereafter comes the Sri Krishna avatar. Thus 5 plus 4. Through these 4 stages, the creation activities on the earth is taking place, and at the end of this 9 avatar, the earth will reach in a very unimaginable heaven-like structure, heaven-like world. There is one universal God, universal government. All the people will like the members of a family. Their knowledge will be the maximum. They will acquire all the knowledges technologically in a most advantageous state with all prosperity. Thereafter, the last avatar came, 5th avatar, that is Kalki. The complete earth undergoes destruction and goes back to Brahmam, or the first stage, that is Krita Yuga. Pralaya will, flood, universal flood, all this will undergo destruction due to flood. There are different types of floods that we can see later. Then again this circle continues from Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga, and then destruction, then again in this stage. And at the final stage, the complete universe, the 7 worlds, will undergo dissolve in water and vaporizes, and finally go back to electron, proton, etc., then to energy, and finally go back to the starting point, Brahman. It will go back to Brahman after several manvantaras. Again, that will start in this form. So, the cycle is continuously flowing in this way. There is no start or end to it. That is, all these are explained through these 10 incarnations. Mean there are 10 stages through which the Brahman create the desired world. And all these things are clearly there in the Paramatma plan. Everything is taking place on the base of plan and also based on science, that is in Vedas. Everything is based on science. This is fully a science subject. Brahman itself is a science subject. It converts to electron, proton, and further goes to and development take place and finally reach the last state. And then destruction also take place based on science. There is science how it is going to dissolve and go back to Brahman. Everything is there. That is, we are going to see in the next classes. So in the next classes, we are stopping this scientific study of Veda, and now we are going to start from Rig Veda, from the start itself, we are going through Rig Veda without leaving any sutta from the start to end. So from next class onwards, we are going through Rig Veda, study of scientific study of Rig Veda.